investigation will take place. We'll hear from the CEO of the Electricity Authority. Elsewhere, Commodore Tom Guy hands over command of British Forces Gibraltar before retiring from the Royal Navy. And new homes for birds and bats built by St Bernard's Lower Primary School pupils. Good evening. Gibraltar has suffered its second widespread power cut this month. The government says it was caused by a major earth fault in the Ocean Village area. As with the last major power cut 2 weeks ago, air traffic control closed, with this afternoon's BA flight diverted to Malaga. The power outage came ironically as the Minister for Public Utilities was due to answer questions in Parliament about power. Instead, the afternoon session began with a statement by Gemma Arias Vázquez, who described the repeated outages as entirely unacceptable and said the latest incident was unrelated to previous failures. A comprehensive report has been requested by Monday, while a third-party investigation is expected to begin in July. Opposition leader Keith Asobardi said power cuts were happening too frequently, causing disruption to residents, businesses and tourists. Chief Minister Fabian Picardo accepted the outages were unacceptable, but said no electricity island could guarantee uninterrupted supply.
Madam Speaker, the information presently available to the Government is that the Gibraltar Electricity Authority suffered a major earth fault in the Ocean Village area. The fault was reflected on engine 4 and consequently impacted the operation of the power station. At the time of the outage, Madam Speaker, the GEA was generating approximately 36.6 megawatts. I am advised that, based on the information currently available, the incident appears to be wholly unrelated to the previous outages. Madam Speaker, once again, I am not here to give excuses. The Gibraltarian public has invested hundreds of millions of pounds in Gibraltar's energy infrastructure, including the new power station, the LNG plant, the BESS system and upgrades to the grid. Madam Speaker, I fully appreciate the disruption and frustration that an outage of this nature causes to families, to businesses, to essential services and to the wider community. The Government considers it entirely unacceptable that power failures of this nature should continue to happen. As a result, the Government has already been in discussions with a third party with the relevant technical and managerial experience to come and support the GEA in the discharge of its functions and to assist in ensuring the resilience and the reliability that the public rightly expects. This individual will be in situ by the end of the month of July. Madam Speaker, I have asked the GEA to provide me, as a Minister with responsibility for public utilities, with a full and comprehensive report by Monday morning at 10 a.m. of this latest incident. The Cabinet will then meet to consider the report, its findings and the options that are available to the Government.
The Honourable Lady talks about disruption. It's not just disruption to citizens, it's disruption to tourists, it's disruption for people taking flights to Gibraltar, it's about disruption of people taking flights out of Gibraltar, and it's hotels, restaurants, loss of business, and indeed it's embarrassing for this jurisdiction that is promoting itself as being ready for business. Questions will be asked as to whether we are indeed ready for business. The Honourable Lady was on television only 10 or 12 days ago, talking about a power cut and reacting to it and saying that questions would be asked then. A lot of people will think that why are questions being asked now when they've been 15 years in government, and why haven't questions like this been asked before? And why, if questions were asked on previous occasions, why these things keep happening? So the Honourable Lady says she's going to ask questions on this occasion. She said the same thing 12 days ago on television, and she says it's unacceptable, but these are, to many citizens, empty words when these things continue happening.
Madam Speaker, having power cuts is unacceptable, but let us be clear. If you operate an electricity island, and Gibraltar is, and in my view should forever be, an electricity island, you are susceptible to power cuts. And it is my view that we should forever be an electricity island because we should never rely on anybody else to provide our electricity. If we're all nodding at that, as honourable members of the opposition rightly are, then we have to understand that there is no electricity island that operates without failure. The grid is being upgraded. It cannot all be upgraded at once, because as I've said in this House before, I think during the tenure of the Leader of the Opposition, but perhaps even before, if we were to upgrade all of the grid at the same time, we would have to have upheaval on our roads, because we would be taking up all of our roads all of the time. We are making an investment in the grid. It's a constant investment. And Madam Speaker, I'm sorry I have to say this, but there was no meaningful investment in the grid for 16 years.
And the acting CEO of the Electricity Authority, Stanley Antony, joins me in the studio now. Welcome. So, an earth fault caused today's power outage. Can you explain in simple terms what happened and why it led to such a widespread failure?
Definitely. First of all, before I go into the questions and answers, I'd like to apologise to our customers, because it is not the intention of anybody to have a power outage of this magnitude. What happened? An earth fault developed on one of our cables feeding the Marina Club, okay? And obviously there was reports of smoke coming out of a particular manhole. That caused an earth fault onto the engine, which transmitted from engine number 4 to engine number 5 and engine number 6. So obviously they all went out. Immediately we rushed to the control room to see exactly what was going on. Mm-hmm. And I think it's suffice to say that at the time I was in a meeting, I was in a Teams meeting with MAN from Germany, speaking about the outages and see how we can add more resilience to our system to avoid outages.
And the opposition leader asked in Parliament whether faults like this can be isolated. Is that possible to stop one fault?
Depending on the magnitude of the fault. If you get a small fault, okay, we have what we call the IFLS, which will start switching off certain areas first, mm-hmm. okay, so we don't have a widespread power outage. So we can avoid it at times, but if we have a major fault, like in this instance, it will reflect back on the power station. We need to investigate and see what other measures we can put in place to avoid that in future.
And can you speed up how electricity returns to homes?
Sometimes you can, but there are times that you have to carry out everything in a safe manner and to restore power supplies as safely as possible. Remember that when a power outage occurs, we convene at the power station, and there are teams sent out at the field to be ready just in case a particular switchgear does not engage remotely. Yeah. So obviously we're all out there. Mainly I may be at the control room or even out on site. It all depends how many people are available at the time. But again, today's outage, we had people out on site. We had to rely on starting up our emergency power plant at the south, which we did. Once we were able to engage, we transferred the power to the power station, started our engines up, linked up, and started energizing the customers.
Yeah. The Chief Minister said Gibraltar is an electricity island and will never get to zero power cuts.
Right. What is an island mode? Island mode, or electricity on island mode, means that you are working on your own, okay? We have no other power stations, we have no other grid to depend on. If we were connected to the European grid or to the Moroccan grid, if you like, mm-hmm. okay, then we have another setting point that we can reflect to. If you're on island mode, you're on your own. So if it goes down, everything goes down. Mm-hmm. That is basically what it is. There's island mode and there is grid parallel mode, which is for European grid or any other grid that's available.
Are there better, this is a question because I don't know much about electricity, is there a better system that we could have than this one? Because obviously this one doesn't seem to be working very well.
No, it is working, and it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. If there is a danger out there, it switches everything off. Mm-hmm. You're at home, for example, okay, and say you are part of your electricity at home just fails. Mm-hmm. Depending what measures you have in place, depending what you lose. If it's an old installation, you might just lose your socket. But if it's the latest installation with the latest, what we call RCDs, you may lose your whole house, your whole electricity to the house. So we have emergency equipment in place that will shut down to safeguard the engines or the equipment that's out on the field.
What about the appliances of people at home, restaurants? For them, their main worry and priority will be that. How is that going to be safeguarded?
Right. What I would recommend, okay, and it's now on the electricity regulations, is for the customers to have a surge protection installed on their consumer units, whereby any surge in power will be picked up by your the unit itself, okay, and diverted to earth, so it will not affect any appliances. So surge protection devices should be installed in every household.
Excellent, something to know. And finally, a full report by Monday is going to be asked for in a wider stakeholder meeting on Tuesday. What happens now?
Well, we are already preparing the report for the Minister, and we'll answer to any questions the Minister has, and obviously we will have to put mitigating circumstances in place so we can avoid having any outages.
And a third party is also going to be...
At the moment, I will be on my own with the team and talking to the Minister.
Okay.
I can't really say about the third parties.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Stanley Antoniou, the Acting CEO of the Electricity Authority. Well, it was a busy day for the emergency services also. In addition to the power cut, there were 2 fires. 3 Royal Gibraltar police officers had to be treated for smoke inhalation after evacuating a building on Cornwall's Lane. No casualties were reported. Meanwhile, while the power cut was underway, the fire and rescue service extinguished a fire in a scrapyard on Devil's Tower Road. 4 years after arriving on the Rock, Commodore Tom Guy has handed over command of British Forces Gibraltar before retiring from the Royal Navy. His departure was marked by a ceremonial farewell with bagpipes and 11-gun salute, and a final journey from Gibraltar by sea. Taking over the role is Commodore Tim Davey, who says he's looking forward to building on his predecessor's work. Katie Docker spoke to both the outgoing and incoming Commander, British Forces.
It's been 4 magnificent years, absolutely extraordinary. We've loved the place. I think you'll have probably detected we're quite sad to be leaving, but we leave it in a great place, fantastic team. I'm delighted to have handed over to my successor, Tim Davey. The place is in thoroughly good hands, and we'll just leave here with the fondest of memories.
And off you go on your boat.
Yes, we arrived in the boat 4 years ago, almost to the day, from America, and we're setting off and we'll eventually end up back in the UK.
Well, good luck with your travels.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, it's been a pleasure.
Congratulations on being appointed Commodore. How do you feel?
Well, good morning and thank you, Katie. How do I feel? I feel a little bit overwhelmed, but it's fabulous. It's a great feeling. The team have been hugely welcoming, and I feel like I'm in a really good place and ready to start my work. And I think from a Gibraltar perspective, what is not to like? My family are here with me. We are settling in. We've had a very, very warm welcome, and we're really looking forward to learning and exploring some more in Gibraltar.
Are you able to talk about some of your career highlights to date? Anything you're particularly proud of?
So I'm proud of my career, of course. It's coming up to nearly 30 years now. It doesn't feel that long, which is a good thing. It's been great. My last job was commanding one of the Royal Navy's training establishments, HMS Collingwood, in Portsmouth, which was great fun. Before that, time in the Ministry of Defence and time, of course, working at sea. And I would say the highlights have absolutely been time at sea. It's fantastic working in our ships and supporting some of our teams that are delivering the Royal Navy's warfighting outputs. But this, I think, I'm 20 minutes into my job, but this, I think, will absolutely be a highlight.
And you can watch extended interviews with both the outgoing and new Commodore on GBC's Viewpoint on Thursday, the 9th of July. Well, you're watching GBC News. Still to come, MedSteps reopens to the public with temporary safety measures in place. Bayside and Westside students bring their artistic skills to the Jump Around Jib Macaque project, and birds and bats get new homes built by pupils at St Bernard's Lower Primary. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stay with us.
Our world runs on momentum. From the first light over the rock to the plans we make for the days ahead, each moment carries us forward. For 150 years, Kapuru Insurance has moved with that energy. Rooted in Gibraltar, reaching the wider world, built on the past, and looking to the future, wherever momentum takes you next. Kapuru Insurance will be by your side, every step of the way.
At Marble Arc, fashion is more than style. It's community, it's you. Thank you for making us finalists for Best Retailer at the Gibraltar Awards. Your support means everything.
Welcome to CEPSA Gibraltar, your one-stop station for every journey. Refuel fast, recharge your EV, and drive cleaner with our AdBlue service. Step inside Carrefour Express for fresh food, drinks, and daily essentials. From road trips to quick stops, we've got everything you need, all in one place. CEPSA Gibraltar, powering your drive every day.
Dedicated to bringing joy, imagination, and play to children of all ages.
Processing your hotel deposit for your upcoming trip.
Take a moment, because what matters most is worth protecting.
Gatch Opticians, looking after Gibraltar eyes for almost 200 years.
If you're looking for the perfect spot to enjoy breakfast, lunch or dinner, make your way to Bianca's Bar and Restaurant down at Marina Bay, where we've been serving great food since 1979. Our tempting menu and daily specials are available for dining in or takeaway. Relax and watch the world go by at Bianca's Marina Bay, the happiest place out of town.
Welcome back. Mediterranean Steps has reopened to the public. It has been closed for safety works after the recent rockfall. The government says the access route has been made safe with temporary protective fences installed. It says permanent repairs to the retaining wall will begin as soon as possible and will be carefully planned to minimize disruption. The current safety measures will remain in place until the permanent works are completed. The government asks visitors to be careful, follow all signage and instructions on site, and respect any temporary restrictions while works are underway. Students from Westside and Bayside School have been involved in the Jump Around Jib project, painting 1.5 metre tall fiberglass macaques that will be placed around the rock. The project is spearheaded by the Growing Artists Programme, who are looking for sponsors for the sculptures. The macaques will be displayed at strategic points around Gibraltar from next month.
The macaques are definitely taking shape, with Bayside and Westside schools' sculptures now nearly complete. We caught up with the Bayside students during one of their lunchtime painting sessions.
We just focused on Gibraltar culture, the Gibraltar heritage. So all over we have just a bunch of iconic places of Gibraltar. So we've got the Moorish Castle, we've got Gotham's Cave, we've also got crabs, we've got the octopus. So we've just got a bunch of things that just link really well with Gibraltar.
How did you decide who was going to do what?
So it was quite difficult because we are quite a big class, but we just divided it between the 9 of us. And when it comes to obviously going into each other's pieces, it is a bit more difficult, but we all do work together really well.
I think the most enjoyable part is it's been very different to what we've done before. I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I've never painted on a massive monkey before. Yeah, but it's been really good fun actually, and also working as a team on a collaborative piece of work with everyone. It's been really interesting.
It would have been a fantastic project to do with a whole school or specific individuals, which was an idea that we were toying with, maybe selecting certain people from GCSE and A-level. So we decided to go to the year 12s as well, which were are now creme de la creme, you could say. They are you could say the elite students now that remain in school.
We did have an initial issue where the paints that we were using at the beginning were a little bit transparent, so we've ended up using acrylics, which are a bit more opaque and easier to apply. And luckily, the monkey will be prepared with a varnish lacquer at the very end.
Going across the podium to Westside, we also spoke to the students as they put final touches on their macaque.
This is my first time doing a 3D painting model thing. I really liked doing the backgrounds and painting the jellyfish and stuff like that, and that was really, really fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and some of my friends were in it, and it was fun doing all the designs and colouring.
Our teacher, Miss Leah, she got the inspiration from Ocean Village itself, and how on the floor everything's in mosaics, all the pattern on the floor. So she took inspiration from that, and because it's called Ocean Village, she decided to do something with having to do with the ocean. And we all decided what animals we were going to do, and then we figured out that we were going to do mosaics and that we were going to make a masterpiece like that.
I was approached by the Young Artists Programme if I would be interested in doing this with the school, so I thought it would be a brilliant idea to do it with my Year 7s. They're so young, it's something they've never done before, so I thought it would be a really good experience for them. They told us that ours would be based in Ocean Village. You'll notice the mosaics on the floor, so that gave us the inspiration to create the animals with mosaics. It's a really nice way for them to see how they can be part of the art community. I mean, art isn't just in the classroom.
We look forward to seeing the finished sculptures on our streets very soon.
Students at St Bernard's Lower Primary School are putting their education to good use as they're taught about Gibraltar's natural environment. Initial lessons about bats developed into an initiative that saw them create homes for local flying fauna. Ian Triay-Clarence spoke to teachers and students at the school.
I believe they've now realised that even though they're 6-7 years old, that they can still do something that will impact the environment. I think that's very important learning achievement for them, and they've been very, very enthusiastic, especially working with the parents and the actual designing of the box, the actually making of the box, the reason why the box is important for them, so they take some ownership on something that they feel is important for Gibraltar and for the environment itself.
Because birds sometimes go drowning in the water, so so when they are tired, they can find a hotel, and then they can rest in the hotel instead of drowning.
Why do bats need boxes?
So they can eat.
And are they going to find something nice to eat in your bat hotel?
Yeah.
One of the museum's objectives is education, so we reach out to schools. And in this case, I was actually invited to give a talk on bats, an introductory talk on bats, because they were doing a project on animals that fly. So I gave a very generic sort of introduction to bats around the world, the bats of Gibraltar, 7 species of bats that we have here locally, and how we can help. And I mentioned bat boxes as one of the things that we do in Gibraltar to install these. Essentially, they're artificial roosts for them that they can actually take up to essentially rest during the day. And the teachers then had a great idea to organize a sort of event where they can go outside, invite the actual families to come and help them, and build these boxes.
We built a castle box and we used wood.
So what have you done to protect bees?
A bee house. Built.
Are they excited to see these boxes out in the wild? Are they looking forward to saying, like, oh, look, you know, my project's really helping live and real animals?
They do talk about it a lot. I mean, when we went on a trip to the Alameda Gardens, they did point out the boxes that they saw. When they're in the playground, sometimes they see bees and they've got the younger ones, like, you know, trying to get them, and they do tell them that leave the bees alone, they're doing nothing to you, you know, so it has had a positive impact.
Why is it important for us to keep the bees safe?
Like for honey. To make, like for food. Because they pollinate.
And what about the bats? Why do we need to keep bats safe?
Because they get the mosquitoes.
Exactly. And what about the swifts? Why do we want to keep swifts safe?
Because they're getting like lesser. They're getting a bit extinct.
We have a very strong connection with the community, and we like to involve experts in different fields so that children understand that there's life beyond school and that everybody has something to bring to the community. In the same way that we do people who help us and we bring policemen, nurses, firemen and so on, this is a very different aspect, but they get to understand that people have jobs of different natures and that everybody's job is important and everybody contributes to society.
Well done to all those students. Now, all the latest in sports, including big developments in hockey and dressage. Robin Shepherd-Capurro has the latest.
We'll start with basketball, day 4 of the FIBA European Championships for small countries. Gibraltar, the hosts, they beat San Marino on Tuesday, then lost to Malta on Wednesday, lost to Andorra last night. But they get a second bite at the cherry against Andorra again tomorrow afternoon in the semi-finals.
You know, I really believe in this 12, you know, and I've told them from the very beginning, you know, we've been working very hard and that's our target. You know, our target is getting that final medal. And if it is, you know, having games like today where we're having everybody taking part, some players rested, some players coming in, giving their role, it's giving me a tough choice to make on that Saturday. But again, that objective is there, and we've said it from the very beginning, and that's what we want to do. We want to change history, and a medal would do that.
In squash, the PSA Gibraltar Open is underway. Multiple events within the competition as some of the rock's best rub shoulders with some of the world's best. Main finals scheduled for Sunday morning. The 2026 Special Olympics Gibraltar National Games drew to a close this evening at the Lathbury Sports Complex. The traditional torch run took place on Wednesday ahead of the opening ceremony. Today, the third and final day of competition, visiting athletes from Spain and the Isle of Man. And yesterday, Gibraltar took gold in the futsal.
Oh, yeah. I cannot believe how well I chipped these goals, yeah. I mean, I've been in Special Olympics for many years, and I've never done anything like this for a long while. We hope we can continue to do better in the future, yeah.
Samara Espinosa has become the first female Gibraltarian hockey umpire to be promoted to the FIH International Panel of Umpires. A fantastic achievement, one the local association described as a significant moment for Gibraltar hockey. And in horse riding, 14-year-old Stella McComb has been selected to represent the Children on Horses Team GB at the European Dressage Championships in Czechia next month. An incredible achievement after a brilliant season on the Andalusian circuit. Stella by name, Stella by nature.
Well, that's all from the GBC News team for now. Don't forget you can always catch up on our website and social media pages. Have a great weekend.